Hoven Raceles. Let's call on our starting lineup from our Signal HD Spikers. Let's begin with our team captain. He wears jersey number 8, Israel Wilson Marasigan. At number 4, Peter Denmar Torres. Wearing jersey number 7, John Paul Bugawan. At number 10, Wendell Miguel. Wearing jersey number 15, Mark Jesus Espejo. And at number 18, Gabriel E.J. Casanya. Starting libero is number 13, Manuel Sumangid. Head coach, Mr. Dexter Clamor. Presenting our City of IMUS Adja Spikers. Team captain wears jersey number 22 is Mizo Joner Polvorosa. At number 6, Kim Malabunga. Wearing jersey number 8, Ridzuan Muhali. Number 13, Roniel Rosales. Number 15, Francis Saura. And number 24, Hero Austria. Starting libero is number 5, Rico Marius Marmeto. And head coach, Mr. Sinfronio Sammy Akailar. This is game 1 of the semifinals, a round-robin series.
Folks, to the game, or the first game of the semifinals in your Spiker Surf 2023 Open Conference. Signal HD will have the same names, Bugawan, Espejo, Casanya, Torres, Miguel, Marasigan, and Sumangid to begin for Coach Dexter Clamor. And as for Coach Sammy Akailar, he has Francis Saura starting today alongside Kim Malabunga, Rids Mohali, Ish Polvorosa, Roniel Rosales, Hero Austria, and Rico Marmeto. Again, we welcome you to our broadcast. This is Mix Gomez at your service alongside Mela Tunay and Ayana Perlas. Now, this is an interesting starting lineup for IMUS City. We are seeing Francis Saura, the tallest player in that lineup for IMUS City, begin for them.
At nung kanilang last matchup nga, wala itong si Francis Saura. So let's see if he gets to be that difference maker for IMUS. But Signal is going to start off strong with that dump.
Now, the thing about Signal HD is that they did lose one set for the whole of our elimination round. But that last set, or that one set, came in their last game against Kim Malabunga's former school of NU. And it really made a big effect on that Signal HD locker room that has motivated them to come out very strong in today's ball game. Pero mukhang motivated din itong si Kim Malabunga.
Well, nabanggit nga natin yung mga matchups. Pero talking about, going back to what you just talked about, no, yung isang set na na-drop nila, pero dinibdib na nila. Syempre, the coaches want to secure na entering the higher rounds, the semifinals, and hopefully of course, they're hoping to get into the finals after the record that they set. Gusto nila yung mindset hindi lang yung laro. So, I think hindi lang yung laro talaga yung naging concern doon ng coaches, but yung mindset nila na are they okay already with what they've accomplished?
Well, they did have a couple of days off after that last win, as we get to see another attack here from IMUS City, off the block point for them. So we are exchanging points at the start of this ball game, 2-all between IMUS and Signal HD. Later on, the Navigators Iloilo will go up against Cotabato in our second game of the semis. Hero Austria is rejected.
That's what you get when you go up against a #1 blocking team. Yung mga matataas na sets na yon might be a bit easy for them to guard.
Si Isay Marasigan yun,
all over that ball.
Isay Marasigan was pointed out to us by Coach Dexter Clamor na gusto niyang makita to increase his level of play once more, be more consistent, just as how he was couple of years ago for Signal HD. Ito naman, Hero Austria, ganda ng pinapakita.
That's right. At hindi nga pwedeng magpapatambak sila ng malaki. So far, so good for IMUS. Staying close to Signal in the start of the first set.
Casanya from the pipe. That's Mark Espejo getting the point off of the block.
Sumanggit calculating that check ball well. At malayo-layo yung talsik ng bola ni Mark Espejo. And so much power, of course, as we know. Kapag lumipad yan si Mark, talaga namang all out, all power.
Hihinga ng malalim yung mga fans dito sa Rizal Memorial Stadium. By the way, this is our new venue for the semis and the finals. So do invite your friends and family to join us here. It's a slide attack, the favorite of Ron Rosales.
Well, Polvorosa just getting creative here. Really activating a lot of his spikers. No? Itong si Austria before he rotated. At ito naman si Rosales ngayon, kakapasok lang. And we've also seen some points from Saura already. So yung points nila, talagang tinatrabaho nila. And just like that, an ace from Hero Austria. Hindi siya galing sa error ng Signal. Talagang pinagtatrabahuhan nila itong mga puntos nila.
Hero Austria loving that service ace. His first in this ball game. Long-time player, Coach Sammy Akailar. Austria is the second leading scorer of IMUS in our eliminations, just behind Kim Malabunga. That time sumanggid. Over-receive. Regalo yan para kay Ritz Mohali.
Great strategy from the team of IMUS. Talagang kinakargahan nila yung kanilang mga serves, knowing that number one sa spiking, number one sa setting, itong Signal HD Spikers, they need to let their defense crumble para hindi sila makaset up.
Actually, number one din supposedly ang Signal sa receiving. Now they're getting tested by Hero Austria. It's IMUS leading 6-4. That time, si Wendell Miguel ang kukuha ng bola. Isay from the back. And no more recovery from Ish Polvorosa. Lead cut down to 1.
Well, if a captain like Isay Marasigan is being challenged, the veteran that he is will respond this way. Just look at him go. Great angle as well. Not even the libero of IMUS could contain that hit.
It is 5 serving 6. Wendell Miguel will do the honors. The third leading scorer of Signal HD with 81 points coming into this matchup. Roniel Rosales, mabilisan yung mga puntos natin, ha?
At palitan lang, di ba? Sabi nga natin, mix, piso-piso. Favorite term natin. Pero look at Ish Polvorosa. It seems like he woke up feeling refreshed today.
Feeling 26 today.
Birthday
yeah, birthday niya ngayon.
Kaya pala extra motivated. Pero baka gusto niya ng masayang celebration.
Well, I did ask him, what do you want for your birthday? Isa lang sagot niya, win. That simple. Unfortunately, his former teammate Mark Espejo has another idea.
Well, I remembered yesterday, I covered the Women's Volleyball League. Rhea de Maculangan naman, may birthday. Semifinals din. Gusto rin nilang manalo that day. That's what happened. Let's see if it's the same story for another veteran setter here in the men's volleyball, Ish Polvorosa.
6 serving 7. Peter Torres. Here's Ish. On to Malabunga. Casanya. Got a miscue. Chance ball here. Oh, hindi na. Hindi na iaangat ni Marmeto. And that will send us to our first technical timeout. IMUS City looking good. 8-6.
You're still watching the semifinals of the Spikers Turf Open Conference 2023. Now, Mix and Mela, like what you guys mentioned, almost perfect yung Signal HD Spikers until they dropped a set against NU last Sunday. And actually, sinabi sa akin ni head coach Dex Clamor, perfect sets wasn't really their goal for this conference anyway. That one set drop was actually a big learning curve for them as they were able to utilize as much players as they could to prepare everyone for the semis. And included here was actually Sandy Montero, who is now mentally ready, especially that Manuel Sumangid, his shin is actually tightening up and is affecting his Achilles. Kaya restricted movements daw siya in today's game. Back to you, Mix and Mela.
So that is definitely a worry, a source of worry for Signal HD. Manuel Sumangid has done very well in this conference. Number 5 in digging, number 2 in receiving. Right now, the floor defense could take a hit as IMUS City continues to score.
And yan din yung downside, no, with the long tournament, 11 teams, tapos yung kanilang mga laro talagang very high intensity. So, of course, knowing a team like Signal na kung titignan natin, halos polish sila, sabi mo nga almost perfect. Almost perfect lang yan sa game, pero sa training, grabe yung inside niya. So that counts, and of course, those muscle strains really gonna play a factor in their performance.
Diba, yun nga yung nagiging trend sa sports. Magkahirapan na tayo sa training para dumali ang laro. Ooh, is that an overcook? It was inside though for Hero Austria.
Well, that hit didn't seem like yun yung tamang contact sa bola, but still gonna work for Hero Austria dahil he put it at a place na walang tao.
I asked Hero, so ngayon, nakalaban mo si Mark. Ano pakiramdam? Sabi niya, wala naman nagbago eh. Magdadasal na lang din talaga ako, tsaka paghihirapan ko na lang.
Wala naman nagbago, mas gagalingan niya lang. And of course, Mark should be proud, no? Someone who idolizes him playing at this level up against him.
Ito naman, mataas din ang level. JP Bugawan, we did mention he was number 1 in terms of efficiency in this league. Just not enough attempts to qualify right now in our stat sheet. Oh, ho, ho, ho. Hero Austria with a hammer.
And you have to credit half of that point to Ish Polvorosa. Just having one blocker for Hero Austria. Napakagat dun sa gitna, but nonetheless, that was really an excellent hit. And he was feeling that one.
That was one heck of a celebration from Hero Austria. Casanya close to the net. The joust will be won by Hero Austria again.
Well, I think the referee called a violation on the setter dahil backline siya. Pero yung set niya, sumobra na. If we take a look at this, nasa court na ng IMUS yung bola na yun.
It's 12-9. Service error coming in here from IMUS City's Francis Saura.
So, itong IMUS slowly making that separation with their... The ratings are going in terms of their attacks. Pero yung kanilang services nagkakaroon ng problema today. 2 service errors already for IMUS, none for Signal.
Marasigan serves. First ball Marmeto. Polvorosa malapit sa net. Put back. Kept alive. Austria. Naibalik. Polvorosa fakes and sets. Push. Still alive here. Marasigan tips it over. And he finds a hole in the middle of the defense.
You have to commend the coverage of the Signal HD Spikers. They've been checked a couple of times. Or yung mga bola ng IMUS parang dumudulas from the blocks, but they managed to keep the ball alive and counter with that isang Marasigan tip.
Palitan lang tayo dito. A 1-point game. Signal HD facing that 1-point deficit. Combination. Austria. No more recovery here. Lead back to 2.
Well, on top of the coverage, we mentioned how he's been emerging as the hero of his team. Hero Austria with a lot of combination plays. And I think they really, prepared for this. Looking at them right now, how they move. They really seem prepared dahil yung game plan nila very intact. Loaded serves. Nagkakagulo itong mga reception at defense ng Signal. The setting is really on point.
Peter Torres was rejected. Tatawid ni Espejo under the bright lights of the Rizal Memorial Coliseum. Ritz Mohali, that hit the antenna. Point for IMUS.
Well, the referees took a bit of time to to call that shot, kung kanino ba yung puntos. Clearly may tumama sa antena. They just don't know kung galing ba dun sa palo o galing ba dun sa block. But from that replay, we know that it was an off-the-block hit.
It's 14-11. Hero Austria with 4 points so far. Silang dalawa ni Isay Marasigan, ang leading scorers ng ating dalawang koponan. Ball up, Casanya to the open. Wendell Miguel.
We mentioned the setting. We've been really commending the setting of Ish Polvorosa at magpaparamdam ulit. Itong si EJ Casanya having one blocker for Wendell Miguel. And yan yung mga kagandaan sa semifinals talaga. It brings out the best in people. It doesn't matter kung ikaw top setter ngayon, ikaw top blocker ngayon. Sasabay at sasabay talaga lahat eh.
Back to zero din lahat eh.
Oo.
And as for Wendell Miguel, what a performance it has been in this conference. Stepping in as Louis Ramirez left the team, transferred to IMUS. This is an error here from Roniel Rosales.
Nanggigil pero ang ganda sana nung height nung bigay sa kanya nito ni Ish Polvorosa. Ito namang si Ish, no, talagang as much as possible, tinatrain niyang gawing hindi regular yung mga sets. Kasi usually zero tempo or ano. Dito sa set niya kay Rosales, you would notice the difference, but that was overcooked.
13, serving 14, mula sa likod, Francis Saura, put up by Miguel. Casanya, Isay off speed, Ish puts it up. Marmeto Tumuhali. Ball way up high. That was hard to see. Tatawid ni Wendell. Chance here for IMUS. They go to Roniel for a point.
What a connection. At ang gandang bawi nitong quick hit na to ni Rosales from the error he made earlier. But look at him getting the chance ball and Ish Polvorosa just setting him up. Habang nagkakagulo pa yung... that was a good rally, no? Medyo mahaba yung rally na yon. Ganda ng balikan. And Ish just being smart enough to send it to the quick.
Whistle blown before the approach. So there is a violation against Signal HD.
They look a bit disorganized in here. And Coach Dex talagang kinuha na yung tinawag ng mga players.
So he wants to regroup at this point. It was between Peter Torres and EJ Casanya that made the violation. 16-13 in favor of IMUS. Back inside the Rizal Memorial Coliseum, our new venue for the Spikers Turf semi-finals and finals. So Ricky Palou present at the sidelines here. We are down to the last 4 teams. IMUS, Signal, D Navigators Iloilo, and Cotabato. Maghaharap po in a single round robin format today, Friday, and Monday for our semis. Joust. Naitawid ni Ish Polvorosa. Mark Espejo. Ball goes straight to Melatunay. That is a point for Mark.
May stiff neck lang po ako. Hindi po ako makakadepensa ngayon. But great job from Mark Espejo. And cutting the lead to just 2. Pero you know, bago yung sequence na yun, parang nagkaroon na naman ng miscue itong Signal. Nag-set ng back row to si Casanya and no one was there again to parang second time na yan here in the first set alone. So they really have to regroup. But this is still a close game.
Served by Peter Torres. Ridge Mohali. That approach looked so good.
This squad right now just playing inspired, and regardless of who Ish Polvorosa goes to, they have been very efficient. Look at Mohali go against the taller blockers, no?
It really seemed like that was his plan all along. Hammer it down. Polvorosa. Casanya back to Espejo. Ayan na, nagpaparamdam na.
Ang hirap nga naman bantayan kung yung Bugawan at Espejo sabay sa harap, di ba? At ang galing pa nung delay dito sa pitek ni Casanya. Just a single blocker against Team Mark Espejo.
114 points in the eliminations for Mark Espejo. 113 for JP Bugawan. And this time, Mohali is rejected.
Combination play. Not gonna work for Mohali and the rest of IMUS. That was well read by the tandem of Espejo and Bugawan.
At dahil dyan, ta-timeout na si Coach Sammy.
Nandito siya, no? Hayaan mo si magbisa sa gitna. Pag binang gitna nito, ito yung porsyento natin. Papasukin mo dito siya, no? Para magsiksikan yan lahat. Intindihan, ha? Ikaw naman, pumalo ka, nanda ka ganun lang. Paluin mo pa ganun. Hindi mo paluin na pa ganun. Kasi lalaki na dalawa doon, di ba? Gagawa tayo ng paraan. Di ba sinabihan ko kayo, pag malaki ang blacker, gilid-gilid. Ulitin ko, ha? Pabihin mo to, pasingitin mo siya. Go, 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 go! IMUS! IMUS!
Pwestuhan, paluan, specific instructions here in the semifinals for Coach Sammy.
Well, sabi nga ni Coach Sammy, pag matangkad ang blockers, of course, parang hindi mo na kailangang dun dalahin, lalo na they are not just tall blockers, they are very talented blockers. Alam nila yung pustuhan, yung pagpasok ng kamay. So, sa gilid-gilid daw. Sabi nito ni Coach Sammy.
Malabunga, ball was deflected, chased by EJ. Espejo! Mark Espejo coming alive!
Mark Espejo seems like he didn't even had any blockers on that one.
Did you see the
look at
face of Hero
speed,
Austria?
oh.
Wow, it went down and Hero could not do anything more. 17 all. Francis Saurang sasagot.
Again, the combination plays have been working for Ish Polvorosa. So, ang ganda rin dahil ang sipag nung pasok ng kanyang mga quickers. Look at the first tempo until the third tempo just being in sync for that combination play.
It's 18-17, lead back with IMUS City. What a set one for our semifinals. At the middle, good block for IMUS.
IMUS giving Signal a taste of their own medicine. Number 1 kayo sa blocking. Sasabay kami ngayon.
How about this, IMUS closing in to their first set victory against Signal in this conference. But then again, it's still 6 points away and just a 2-point deficit for Signal HD. Mohali on the serve, received. Sumanggid, quick, sent back. Casanya looks, back sets, Espejo.
Mark Espejo just flew right in front of us. And still, we're in awe, we're confused about the athleticism kung paano ba yan? Kung saan ba yan ang galing? But even the defenders, the blockers, pag lumipad si Mark, you can sense from them na they have this hesitation na paano ko ba ito kukunin?
Oo. Ball. Put up here. Austria. Good block this time from Signal HD, tying things up, 19 all.
Ish Polvorosa trying to instruct itong si Hero Austria kung paano lulusot doon. Pero just look at Bugawan. I really can't tell where else that ball could go. Talagang binakuran niya na yung cross with his left hand at pasok na yung kanyang kanang kamay.
What a strong serve, battle at the middle. This time a violation on Ish and the lead belongs to Signal HD.
Ish Polvorosa trying to contest that he wasn't able to touch the ball. But the point is going to be awarded to Signal. And now, just like that, they have the 1-point lead against IMUS.
What a quick swing for the HD Spikers. Now, a service error, very uncharacteristic from the #1 server in our conference, Mark Espejo. We're tied at 20.
That's his first service error this afternoon. At in terms of attacks, makikita mo how well IMUS is doing, even overpowering the attacks of Signal by 1 point.
Marasigan on the cross. Back and forth we go.
Isay Marasigan, just as I mentioned na lamang ang IMUS sa atake. Okay, let's equalize things. Here's a bomb for you.
Coach Dex did mention he wants to see Isay Marasigan get back to his old form. They've won a couple of championships already in the Spikers turf. 21 serving 20. Ish looks and sets. Rosales. This time, there was a touch from Signal.
Well, if you guys remember yung kanilang first matchups, no? Or their first matchup, rather. Lamang sa stats, sa scoring stats itong Signal, pero lamang din sila sa error. Now, dito magkakatalo yan dahil itong IMUS nakakadikit. So, yung errors ngayon, I think hindi na kayang ma-afford ng Signal yan pag ganitong kadikit yung laban. We see this double substitution by Coach Samia Kailar. Taneo and Villanueva in. Villanueva playing opposite. Very, not sure if it's new to him, but we usually see him as a middle blocker.
So he has transitioned into that position for this conference. At usual starter yan para kay Coach Sammy. Put up by Espejo. And here comes Isay Marasigan.
Isay Marasigan just having one blocker and using it to his advantage. And
he's having a good day for himself. It's Marasigan and Espejo doing a lot of scoring for Signal. They're talking to each other right now. Team captain Isay Marasigan sending it in. Taneo onto Hero Austria. That could not be saved anymore. Point for Hero.
Again, those combination plays have been working wonders for the IMUS team, and seems like that's the only way to go against this top blocking team. You really need to get creative. That's exactly what they're doing.
We're tied again, 22 all. Hero Austria will do the honors for IMUS. There's that jump serve. Straight to Wendell Miguel. Mula sa likod, Mark Espejo ang sasagot.
What a rhythm by the attack of Signal. Well organized. Nakikita mo talaga lahat ng spikers pumapasok. Goes to show how well orchestrated their offense really is.
What a game, what a start this is, Mela. Welcome to the semifinals.
Yes.
23 serving 22. Wendell Miguel. Back at it. Austria first ball. Taneo gives it back. Rosales put up by Isay. Espejo na naman. Buhay pa rin. Taneo looks open. Mohali with a dip. Naibalik. Recovery. Vids will try. Ooh, no more recovery for EJ Casanya. And we are tied once again.
Hero Austria, looking at him now, he couldn't believe it na nalalapit na sila dito sa endgame. But great transition. Actually, this was a risky set by Taneo, no? Dahil pangalawang set niya na yan kay Mohali. Nakatambay na yung mga blockers niya doon. And, of course, Peter Torres being your blocker, not an easy person to get past the cross. But this error is gonna be very costly for IMUS as they send Signal to set point.
All right, so we have a service specialist coming in, Alexis Faitaren for Signal HD. It's one service error so far for Signal. Apat para sa IMUS City. And Coach Dex, to make that, Coach Sammy will regroup.
Sige lang. Pabi mo siya, no? Susundan yan. Okay, pagbi niyan, ipasunod mo lang siya, no? Kasi nandito yung maliit. Bahala ka kung ano yung ibibigay ang bola. Okay, ilang spaghetti tayo? Tatlo, di ba? So, ikaw yung porsyento doon. Pasahan nyo lang. Susuportahan nyo to, ha? Hindi niya. Okay, sige. Go. Hey, let's go. Hey, IMUS! IMUS!
Crucial timeout here for IMUS City. And as you have noticed, they're very active in today's ball game. Na-mention nga ni Mela, maganda yung gising. And you love the fact that they're also talking amongst each other. Hindi lang si Coach Sammy nagsasalita sa timeout.
Yan naman yung importante, no? Yung leadership among themselves.
Set point, Faitaren serving for the set. Put up by IMUS. Mohali sent back. Good coverage by Josh Villanueva. Leads again. Blockers were there. Read well by Signal HD.
Triple block. Put up as the wall of the Signal HD Spikers clearly playing to their advantage to finish things off here in the first set. Let's take a look at that again. Look at that wall. And Mohali, despite the good afternoon he's been playing so far, babakuran ng HD Spikers dito. 25-23, and it was actually, we can say it's a come from behind first set win for Signal HD Spikers.
What a start for the semifinals. As Bella mentioned, 25-23. We'll be back for set number 2. Back inside the Rizal Memorial Coliseum, your new venue for the semis and finals of the Spikers Turf 2023 Open Conference. In set number 1, we saw a very strong start for the IMUS men's volleyball team. We did mention maganda gising nila. Parang maganda rin yung celebration ni Ish Polvorosa ng kanyang 26th birthday. But at some point, Mela, one guy named Mark Espejo came alive, Isay Marasigan came alive, and despite that shin injury of Manuel Sumanggit, they take over set 1.
Well, you know, the whole duration of set 1, may phase doon, napalitan lang ng puntos, and then eventually, I think the longest phase was, the lead was with IMUS. And then, you know, veteran things happened to Signal. They managed to overtake and get set number 1, but just look at how well IMUS did in that first set. They get to equalize the attacks, and they even had one service ace over Signal na, alam mo yung Signal, ang dami lang strength na pwedeng gamitin eh. Number 1 sila sa attacking, sa blocking, sa serving. Pero ang naging strategy nitong IMUS ay ang kanilang service receive. That's how they really managed to stay close dito sa Signal. And of course, yung blocking talaga yung naging main factor for that Signal set number 1 win.
Well, we do have 2 of the top 3 attacking teams competing right now. Well, that was for the eliminations with the numbers. And if we can continue with the numbers, ang nagkakalayo sila ay yung blocking. Number 3 po ang Signal sa ating conference. Number 9 naman, that is third to the last for the IMUS men's volleyball team. But they do get the first point. You're in set number 2. Mohali on the serve. Miguel with the receive. Espejo on the attack. Ball, crossing, and they go to the tip. JP Bugawan really hasn't had so much momentum yet, but a point for him right there.
Hindi naman yung nagiging story no, dito kay Bugawan. Kinukulang sa attempts, pero kapag nabigyan, talaga namang mataas yung porsyento.
At some point, he was scoring over a 90% rate, which was really high. That's how efficient he was. So ito, maganda nga talaga pinapakita ni Hero Austria. Sumanggit can only do so much.
Bugawan apologizing to Coach Dex dahil kumagat siya doon kay Kim Malabunga, pero you can't blame him, di ba? Kung nasa harap itong si Kim Malabunga, isa rin yan sa, he is the top scorer para dito sa IMUS. Babantayan at babantayan talaga. But so far, he's been quiet this afternoon.
Right.
And right before umikot siya doon sa bench, nagtapon din ng service error dito, tying things off with Signal.
Well, that was our matchup. Kim Malabunga versus JP Bugawan, the key matchup for today. JP now is serving. Ball is inside. Polvorosa to the quick. That works for Rosales.
I think that was the first drop shot ng mga spikers dito, no? Kanina yung mga nagda-drop ball lang, yung mga setters. Pero ngayon, tawag dyan, isda. Pero, that side spin hit, gandang strategy para iwasan yung blockers.
Almost a good dig. Torres tried to score. Kept alive. Austria. Good defense by EJ. That's close to the net. Joust. Sent over. Still put up here. Austria. One of our longest rallies so far. Wendell Miguel. Put up by Francis Saura. Polvorosa. Mula sa likod, Mohali. Sumanggit was there. This is definitely the longest rally now. Espejo overcooks it.
Rare error from Mark Espejo. Gagaling sa kanyang atake. One of his strengths. Ewan ko ba kung meron bang weakness si Mark Espejo. But like you mentioned, that was interesting rally. Itong si Signal talagang when they realize na blockings talaga yung pwede nilang gamitin to demoralize IMUS, they really stuck to that strategy.
That time the block worked for IMUS. Still alive here. Marasigan put up by Marmeto. Saura from the back. Down the line. There's a check.
Wendell Miguel apologizing. Mukhang on his way down to avoid that ball. Lalo niya pang natamaan. Good eye by our line judge as well.
So this is relatively a big lead for IMUS City. Yung 3 points na yan. Serve in by Saura. EJ back to Miguel. Down the line this time. Bawi naman si Wendell.
Babawi agad as Coach Dex actually trying to look for substitutions already at the bench to replace Wendell Miguel. Pero tingnan mo yung bawi niya na yan. Sabi ni Coach Dex, teka lang, upo ka muna.
Wendell Miguel even had a stare after scoring that point. Isay Marasigan now serving. 6 points so far for the captain. Put up by Austria. Polvorosa. Hero again! That's off of Sumanggid.
What an all-around player Hero Austria really is. Nabanggit natin yung kanyang efficiency sa reception. 52.3% reception efficiency. And you mentioned how he is the second top scorer for the team. And in that last sequence, nakita natin lahat yon.
Well, this team, IMUS, is the second best receiving team in the league, just behind Signal HD. So these two teams are good in first balls and good in attacking as well, with Wendell Miguel getting another point.
Ito naman yung disadvantage when you see that yung height difference between the players, no? Na nakasalo yung blockers itong IMUS pag nagpa-block compared to the blockers of Signal na nakaibabaw talaga. So, goes to show about the height advantage of Signal as well.
Quick attack. Roniel Rosales will not be denied. Lead back up to 3. At ito na yung substitution. You have Injiga coming in for Peter Torres. Now remember that guy, itong si TUASON Injiga, was also a magic bunot in last year's semifinals.
A lot of former Ateneo players on the floor.
Sumanggit on the first ball. EJ open. Espejo, speaking of Ateneo.
I'm running out of words to describe the excellence of Mark Espejo. Just really such a great talent, no? In terms of attacks, wala ka na talagang hilingin kahit saan siyang parte ng court, kayang-kaya niyang pumuntos. And just the efficient player that he is.
Well, Coach Dex did mention that he has seen the growth of Mark Espejo through the years na kahit na mataas na yung level niya, pataas pa rin ang pataas as he tries to, just like that, he tries to bring his experience from the international stage here in the Philippines.
Ayun naman yung kagandahan, no? It's his success dahil siya yung naglaro sa ibang bansa, but definitely elevating the competition here dahil nakikita natin how well he has improved at lalong sumasabay din at mas na-challenge itong mga local players natin.
Oh, another block here for Signal HD. That was the key for them in set number 1.
Again, playing to their advantage. If service reception yung naging key para dito sa IMUS, para dito naman sa Signal, 6 block points already so far in this game. Clearly demoralizing kasi ang ganda na ng nagiging tempo ng atake nitong IMUS, pero iba rin yung mga blocks ng ng Signal eh. So gagawa naman ng paraan yan nitong ni Mohali, madaan sa power. Smarts na lang.
8-7, IMUS taking the lead.
It's day 1 of the semifinals of the Spikers Turf Open Conference 2023. Now, during their 10-day break, head coach Sammy Akailar focused on 2 things, and that is scouting and analyzing the #1 team in the league. Now, interestingly enough, he actually focused on the strengths of the team. I mean, on the weaknesses rather than the strengths and how to counter it. And what they did was they actually strengthened themselves in the weaknesses para magmukhang na mas stronger sila compared to Signal, and that is what they did. The IMUS City Spikers have worked hard, but head coach Sammy's challenge today is to test your minds and not your bodies. Back to you guys.
Definitely a good test of the mind here against a championship contender that is very hungry. We have to remind everybody that Signal, as much as they were the champions in the Champions League, they were runner-ups here in the Spikers Turf, losing to NU in the finals last year.
Well, iba-iba ng motivation itong ating mga koponan, but like we mentioned, 0-0 lahat ngayon dito sa semifinals. Everyone has equal opportunity, and IMUS right now is really making the most out of that opportunity.
So balik tayo sa piso-piso. 9-8 is the score. Just a while ago, it was a 3-point lead for IMUS City. But just like in set number 1, remember, never count out Signal HD as they came from behind and eventually took over.
Seems like they have a switch, no? And also reflects how strong their system already is. But look at Hero Austria single-handedly blocking his idol,
Yes,
Marcus
of all
Pejo.
people.
That should feel good.
And he did celebrate accordingly, running back after that point.
What a dream come true
Yeah,
for Hero
exactly.
Austria.
Ilang araw niyang pinag-daydream yan. Now it has come to life. Isay Marasigan with the tip. Good read.
Isay Marasigan trying to elevate the intensity even more. Challenging itong IMUS. Nabasa yung kung kanino isa-set, pero kung anong gagawin, hindi pa nila nagawa. As Marcus Pejo continues to serve already with 12 points.
Put up by IMUS, Austria. It's a point for IMUS. Hero running to his teammate at the back.
Bugawan's not gonna contest the call.
There's JP Bugawan, the #1 blocker in our conference. Put up by Sumanggit. Kasanya, papawi si JP.
A single block against Bugawan. It's not gonna work for IMUS. Mentioned his talent, we've mentioned his efficiency. Just look at the athleticism. Ang layo nung kanyang approach.
Interestingly enough, Itong si JP Bugaon is one of the more silent players that we have in the Spikers turf. As you get to see a point here for Signal HD. May error dito para sa IMUS.
Polvorosa looking so frustrated from that last point. Hindi niya naabot eh. Dahil over-reception yung nangyari. Violation's gonna be called on him as Bugaon continues to serve.
It's 11-all in set number 2. That's in from JP. Ish. Ooh, Francis Saura, the length has paid off for him on the opposite.
What a talent, Francis Saura. Just look at him in this replay. Nasa gilid na yung bola, lumagpas sa kanya, and look at him. His right hand was on his right side. Parang lagpas dun sa kanyang ulo. At iiwasan yung mga blockers. But ito rin, Isay Marasigan. Sabi natin kanina si Mark Espejo parang walang blockers. That's exactly how that last hit from Isay Marasigan looked.
What a journey it has been for Isay Marasigan, who now has to juggle a day job, an assistant coaching job as well for Ateneo, and being the team captain for Signal HD. 7 points for Isay. Tip put up by Marasigan. Back set here. And Mark Espejo makes IMUS pay lead with Signal HD.
Great teamwork displayed here by the Signal HD Spikers. Nakikita mo how Mark Espejo really tried to make that Isay Marasigan coverage count by killing that ball.
13 serving 12 now. Signal looking to take over in set 2. Austria with the receive. Hero gets it back on the combination. Chase for Mark. Ball up high. Miguel ang magtatawid. Saura. Polvorosa. On the run. That is a point for Hero Austria. And we turn you over to Ayana Perlas.
Mix and Mela, just an update. Finally, we have a date on when Brian Bagunas is coming in for IMUS, and that is March 29. Promise na daw yan, and according to head coach Sammy, hindi na daw to paasa. Back to you guys.
Okay, March 29. That means he won't make the semifinals. That means they're gonna have to make the finals on their own, win a couple of games here, and then let Brian do his magic alongside the team, eventually if they make it.
Yung storyline lang dyan ay maglalaro ba si Brian Bagunas sa finals o sa Battle for Bronze?
Oo.
We're gonna find out as a challenge is being called here by IMUS. The players look very confident, even instructing the coaches to make this call.
Oh, by the way, this is our first challenge for
Yes.
today, which is relatively late na, no? That's a good testament to the referees today. 13-all in set number 2. Did you expect anything less from a tight match like this?
Well, actually, I came here without any expectations at all. Gusto ko lang talagang i-enjoy manood dahil alam mo, yung mga stats na yan, baon lang yan eh, going into a game. But when you're here on the bigger stage na, no, hindi na talaga yan magmamatter masyado. Kumbaga, baon mo na lang talaga yan, but it's really the mindset and preparation that's gonna matter on top of the stats.
Mindset and preparation. Na report yan ni Ayana kanina na pinaghandaan ng IMUS for this game. As you get to see Hero Austria, who's having a great afternoon going up against his longtime idol in Mark Espejo. And again, the story in this game, we have Signal HG coming in very hungry after a disappointing last game in the eliminations. They won it, they swept it, but they did lose a single set, which prevented them from achieving history.
Yeah.
Wala sanang natalong isang set sa buong elimination round. That's why they did have a couple of days off to think for themselves, and Coach Dexter Clamore did tell us that they are ready for today. Yun nga lang, maganda rin ang gising ng IMUS City sa araw na ito. They have played very well.
Sabi nga ni Coach Sammy, no, hindi lang yung strengths yung pinag-aralan nila. Kasi syempre, when you look at the strengths, parang hina yung loob mo eh. Kasi ano ba yan, lahat strength nila, di ba? When you look at the stats. So yung ginawa nila, pinag-aralan nila yung weaknesses na parang, yung Signal, kung titingnan mo sila, parang di sila mag-appear na may weakness, sabi nga natin. Pero ginawa ni Coach Sammy, yun yung tinarget nila, yung medyo hindi top yung Signal doon. At doon sila bumawi, yun yung strength nila.
So it looks like, what happened here? Was there a block touch? It's a yes. Signal was arguing na outside.
Mga players na yan, to the last minute, hindi yan naamin.
No. Na-challenge na rin naman. Let the review.
Volleyball is also an acting skill, dapat.
14 serving 13 in set number 2. Hero Austria has been no less of a hero today. Strong serve. Miguel got the receive. Marasigan sa kabila. That's a point for Isay.
That was a one-stop by Signal going to the captain. Isay Marasigan has been having a heyday this afternoon. Look at him flying. And it's really so efficient on his craft.
14 all-hour score. Wendell Miguel fresh off of getting a good receive. 3 excellent digs so far for the former UP Fighting Maroon. That is low on the serve.
Low clearance for that Wendell Miguel serve. And again, tong piso-piso na to, abangan natin to towards the end game kasi it's gonna show how the maturity develops for IMUS if they get to sustain against a team like Signal.
Oh, piso-piso pa kamo.
Parang 10 pesos yung pinalo ni Mark Espejo na yun.
Wow, what a cross from the phenom himself, Mark Espejo. Man, big opening on the defense.
Towering above former Ateneo teammate and Isay Marasigan. Ish Pavarosa rather.
I'm sure a lot of you guys are wishing to see Mark Espejo versus Brian Bagunas. Tignan natin kung mangyayari yan. They would have to face each other in the finals or in the battle for bronze if that will happen. Right now, we send us to the second technical timeout. IMUS up by 1. Kim Malabunga and the rest of the IMUS men's volleyball team right now protecting a 1-point lead against Mark Espejo and Signal HD. The birthday celebrant Ish Polvorosa served, and here's Espejo. Try to go off speed, put up by Ish. Francis Saura. That time he was checked.
Francis Saura effective on the cross earlier, but well read right now by Bugawan and Mark Espejo.
So we are tied again, 16 all. We have fished the term piso-piso again in this game somehow, some way. Mela, when we're covering together, it comes up. But that is a testament to the quality of play that we're seeing right now. Good effort by the players. Chased by EJ, back set, Isay. Good block for IMUS.
Francis Saura had been blocked earlier before this point, and he's gonna return the favor courtesy of this single block against the captain, Isay Marasigan. No coverage there on the floor for Signal.
Yan naman yung luxury ng meron kang Francis Saura as a wing spiker.
Versatility of the players who shifts position.
Espejo, hindi na kailangan ng versatility.
Siya naman kahit same position, pero kahit saang position mo siya ilagay sa loob ng court, kayang-kayang pumuntos.
Mark Espejo taking his international experience back to Signal HD. Although Coach Dexter did tell us that one of his goals is for not only Mark, but a lot of players in the Spikers turf to also, you know, get more exposure. And it would be good to have offers, no? At least from other countries para lang maganda yung recognition dito sa Pilipinas.
And we have the talent pool already. So of course, leagues like this, the Spiker Surf is gonna give them the exposure that they need to get discovered internationally. But let's look at that Wendell Miguel point. Not the strongest of hits, but well placed. And Coach Dexter really celebrating with him on that one.
4 points now for Wendell Miguel. What a strong serve from Espejo. Austria got it. He will try. Put up by Mark. EJ chases and sets. Wendell Miguel, that hit the antenna.
He's gonna admit to the fault. And siya na yung pumipigil doon sa team na mag-call ng challenge because he knew he messed up on that last hit. But that was great defense shown by Ish Polvorosa, containing that very powerful hit by Miguel.
18 all. Bugawan tried to target the right, but it sailed out. Oh yeah, it was a net touch for IMUS, so a point for Signal.
Castel this time admitting to the violation. And again, dito na magkakatalo. Dikitan, sabi natin piso-piso. Ngayon, yung errors magiging pinakamalaking factor this end game. Let's see who gets to remain as polished as possible.
19-18, Signal up by 1. Recovery here for the white shirts. Marasigan put up by Saura, chased by Ish. Austria, cross. JP was there, battle at the net. Francis Saura towering over the HD Spikers.
Francis Saura choosing to do a placement shot instead of hitting that regalo. Still gonna work for him as IMUS goes to their usual double sub. Villanueva in again. And Taneo to serve. They're gonna make use of a full front lineup here in this end game. You're tied at 19. You know, this is a good sign from IMUS, no? Kasi usually yung mga teams na nakakasabay tapos matatalo sa first set, nagko-collapse in the second set. But that's not the trend right now for IMUS.
Served by Taneo. Here's Wendell. Not much power there. Naitawid pa rin ng IMUS. Sumanggid will give it up to their captain. Coverage from Sumang. Miguel cross. Ooh, that met the line.
Wendell Miguel liking that cross-court hit. And great talent also from EJ Casanya, just really distributing the ball well. Kanina, first set, it was a Marasigan and Espejo show, but this time, Wendell Miguel getting more sets.
We have a challenge here, whether it was in or out on that cross attack. Espejo, by the way, is on the floor. Parang inaayos lang naman yung knee-pad niya.
Yung mga ganyang pakaba, Mark Espejo, siguro wag na natin ginagawa. Yung
Alright, that was in. Unsuccessful challenge here for IMUS City.
they're gonna have one challenge left.
Double sub. Jewel Asia. Alfred Valbuena coming in for Signal HD. First time that they're getting an appearance in this ball game. Ayusin lang yung pagka-sub natin.
These two are some of the longer staying players of Signal, no? So let's see how they're gonna perform towards this end game.
Remember, in the Champions League, Jewel Asia was their main setter. At nag-champion sila with him at the helm. May pa-bless pa dito.
Ganun ka-veteran na, di ba? Nagbe-bless na.
Okay, si Jewel, who's actually also an assistant coach for De La Salle University. Hindi muna maglalaro. May timeout pa tayo. 20-19. Let's listen in.
Siya, pag binyan, ikaw to. Pag iniyan, babalik ka. Fake 4. Babalik ka, fake 4. Okay, pasahan lang. Pag pumangit ang bola, porsyento ka sa open, porsyento ka doon, diretso ka, tapos cover. Isipin nyo, guys, na ang bola sa inyo binigay ng setter. Para pag biglang binigay sa inyo, napapalo nyo. Ha?
IMUS! IMUS!
It's looking a little bit similar to set number 1 where it was a very tight game. Only a 1-point lead here for Signal HD as Bonch Castel and the rest of IMUS City will look to tie things up. Pero magsaserve ay si Jewel Asia, fresh off of a double sub alongside Alfred Valbuena. So Jewel will be sending it in after having replaced Isay Marasigan and EJ Casanya. What's happening here? We're trying to mop something on the corner of Signal HD. So para safe lang ang ating mga players. We continue with our action. 20, serving 19 in set number 2. Austria with the receive. Taneo to the quick. Good block for Signal. Ray, open. Villanueva is rejected.
Quality minutes from Alfred Valbuena. And he is gonna read that attack well. Let's look at him position himself for the block. That collaboration between Chu and Alfred is gonna work for Signal for that 2-point advantage.
21, serving 19 now. Double sub, back for IMUS. We have Ishpol Borosa and Francis Saura. Asia. That's in. Hero Austria on the first ball. He gets it back. Another block for Signal HD. That has been the story of this afternoon.
Doesn't matter who's on the floor right now. It seems like the system in terms of blocking is really, you know, part of all the players' skills right now. Talagang it's built with them. Ganda ng response dito ng mga subs ni Coach Tex.
We did mention they have shown that level of play before in the previous conferences of the Spikers turf. That was off angle for both Polvorosa and Francis Saura, increasing the lead of Signal to 4 points as we turn you over to Ayana Perlas.
Coach Sammy Akailar with Josh Villanueva as he just actually came back from a flight just early this morning dahil flight attendant siya. And according to head coach Sammy, medyo nahihilo pa rin siya coming into this game. So let's hope that Josh will be able to kind of bounce back in the next set. Back to you guys.
Well, that could be the explanation as to why Francis Saura started in today's ball game ahead of Josh Villanueva. We have a timeout here.
Set pa lang ito, marami pang mangyayari pag nakakuha tayo ng isang set. Attitude nyo ang ayusin natin, okay?
Ilaban natin. IMUS! IMUS!
Now remember, Ayana also mentioned in one of her reports that the mentality is going to be a big thing for IMUS City in today's ball game, going up against such a titan of a team in the Signal HD Spikers. As you can see, the second unit has been playing very well. Jewel Asia, Chumason, Injiga, and Alfred Balbuena. They're now in the game and contributing accordingly. Back set here, Francis Saura. Sumanggid was there. Injury or whatnot. Mark Espejo punishing the defense of IMUS.
So that was an excellent defense by Signal. At yung second ball, safe na lang yung nangyari na yun para lang makuha yung second touch. Pero tingnan nyo naman kung kanino pa sasakto yung set na yun. Mark Espejo finishing things off and making the efforts of his teammates really count from that last sequence.
Jewel Asia has been busy at that service line. Straight points for Signal. Put up. What a dig by Sumanggid who celebrates accordingly. Off speed works. Wow, what a finish for Signal HD in set number 2.
So Sumanggid just going to Ishpol Borosa. You know, these players making things fun and exciting for them here in the game, but all friends outside. But again, sabi nga natin yung mga strengths nitong Signal, Spike, yung mga scoring strengths nila, pero just look at the defense of Sumanggid being their main advantage from the last few sequences of set number 2 as they end this set rather, 25-19.
The Signal HD Spikers have a 2-0 lead right now in the semifinals. Their first semifinals matchup against the IMUS men's volleyball team. We have seen close sets, at least at the start of it. Yun nga lang, there was a pull away, a 6-0 run for Signal HD by the end of set number 2.
We have identified that itong IMUS really having problems closing out sets dahil they have proven kaya nilang lumamang, kaya nilang sumabay. Pero during the time when it's most important for them to score points, they just get stunned. So ito namang Signal, gigil na mag-close out ng set. Of course, we kept mentioning about what happened, them dropping a set against NU last Sunday. They don't want that to happen, kaya naman doble at triple effort sila kapag ka-endgame na ng mga sets. But look at Signal, just really using their strengths in attacks and blocks, scoring 16-5 compared to 12-2 of IMUS. Kanina halos pantay lang yung atake, pero ngayon nagkaroon din ng problema sa reception itong IMUS. They weren't giving the ball as exact as they were handing it to Polvorosa during the first set. So less combination plays ang nakita natin here in the second set for IMUS. And yun din kasi yung sinasabi nga natin naging advantage nila in the first set. We've been commending their service reception, their combination plays. Right. Medyo naging absent dito sa second set. But nonetheless, they kept close at most parts of that second set. But let's see if they get to address that problem in closing out here in the third.
Polvorosa, the birthday boy, sending it in. A service error to start set number 3. That's very unfortunate because now Signal HD has the momentum. The glaring stat that we saw was the blocking, a +3 for Signal. That was also the case in set number 1.
And 4-0 in set number 1.
The attack from Rosales sails outside. Back-to-back points for Signal.
The last thing that IMUS would want to do here is really let those 2-set win affect them, because so far they're doing good. It's just really a matter of addressing what they lack from those previous sets. But look at the confidence of Signal. Everything they do just really working for them right now. Their services, their blockings really, and their attacks.
They seem to be even better on point at this stage of this match. Polvorosa onto Saura. Bit of a miscue there, but it still ends up as a point for IMUS.
Lucky shot by Saura. And he's gonna get that point with a bit of help from the net.
Parang naguluhan na yung mga tao doon. As you get to see Rivera check in for the first time The thing about Ishmael John Rivera is that he has been a spark plug. Not only playing-wise, pero yung energy. Yung energy na pinapasok niya, yung good vibes into the court. That's what Coach Sammy likes about him.
Well, right now, that's what they need dahil body language-wise, nakikita natin, ang laki ng binaba nitong body language ng IMUS. Of course, with the Signal starting strong like this, 4-1, talagang maapektuhan sila.
And Signal HD continues to pound. It is 4 serving 1. Mark Espejo, 25 years old from Marikina, sending it in. Strong serve, over received. Bugawan tried to score, but good block for IMUS.
No coverage there on the side of Signal. Itong si Sumanggit, very quick to cover for Mark Espejo from the service line. Nag-over-receive itong IMUS. Nakuha niya, pero yung block check na yon, yung block kill na yon ng IMUS niya nakuha.
Back set here. Marasigan down the line. Another strong hit.
It's just really an attack party for the HD Spikers. And Casanya just having a lot of options, but what we've been seeing so far, puro wings yung kanyang mga Filipino,
right.
Not for Bugawan, not a lot for Bugawan.
Well,
and the other middle.
It is working for them, at least for this set. 5-2. Back set. Out on the cross, put up by Espejo. Good job, Miguel. Good block from Imo. So ngayon yung blocking nila nabubuhayan na.
A great collaboration with Malabunga and Saura in front. Can expect they'd get more touches, and of course Malabunga, we've hyped him on top of the coverage. He hasn't had much points right now. Same with Bugawa, diba?
Right.
Sila yung matchup na hinihintay natin. But it seems like the game plan really is to stick with the wings. It's been working for both teams. But, you know, this error.
That was wide. At it's a challenge ni Coach Sammy Akailar, yung atake ni Hero Austria who held this follow-through, which seems to be a thing for him every time he attacks. Again, for Imo City, still no Brian Bagunas, but Ayana Perlas did report. The date of his return is March 29, so stay tuned for that. Was that in or out? It was out. Unsuccessful ang challenge natin.
Imos haven't been having a good day in terms of calling those challenges.
Oo. So balik tayo, Signal HD with a 3-point lead. This is a rarity already for Signal to have an early lead in this matchup. And then a service error comes in from Isay Marasigan.
Coach Dex is gonna allow a few errors from his top players today. He's been really having such a great performance this afternoon.
For serving 6, Hero Austria. As you can see, 22 years old. May playing years pa yan sa college niya. For Coach Sammy Akailar. Good block. Unfortunately, wasn't good enough for Rivera as it sails out off of the attack from Marasigan.
Marasigan committing a service error prior this. Babawi agad. The single block won't do it for Imos.
That's what you love about volleyball, eh, no? Kapag may mistake ka, usually, babalik sa'yo ng setter mo yan.
Bigyan ng chance sa makabawi.
Rivera, good block. Signal's net defense just cannot be denied here. And that will send us to our first technical timeout in set number 3. 8-4 is the score following that successful block by one of their subs in this game in TUASON and Giga.
Welcome back to the semifinals of the Spikers Turf Open Conference 2023. Now, Migs and Mela, according to assistant coach Carl Baisa of the Signal HD Spikers, given the back-to-back games, getting tired is inevitable, and that could actually be what caused our first set. And like what you said, Mela, nakakapagod yung training in itself. The Signal HD Spikers still actually have been having tune-up games before coming into the semis. So with this, the coaches have anticipated less rest, more strenuous games. So starting today daw, light trainings na lang daw and polishing of plays so that they can have fresh legs before the finals. Back to you, Mix and Mela.
That is usually the case, no? You gotta keep the bodies in the best condition. Kasi usapan din, Mela, at this point, alam mong hindi na 100% yung mga yan eh.
Dahil nga, nabanggit na natin ang haba ng tournament. So, ang dami nilang kakalabanin, ang dami nilang pag-aaralan. Imagine 11 teams battling it off here in the Spikers Turf. So, yung exhaustion, no, not just physically, pero yung every game, kikilalanin mo yung, yung mga kalaban mo.
A lot of scouting. As you get to see this point from Mark Espejo, balikan din natin yung report ni Ayana, no? May jet lag pa si Josh Villanueva, tapos si Manuel Sumanggit. A shin injury that dominoed into an Achilles injury. That's not a joke, right? Mahirap yun.
And syempre yung weight mo nandun eh. Actually, yan yung mga talagang nakaka-distract na injury. Kasi minsan shoulder injury, kaya pang ilaban. Of course, case-to-case basis. Pero para sa mga athletes, yung shin at saka yung calf, yan yung mga mahihilang kang gamitin pag may tama eh.
Right. In other sports, if we may put it into context, when you hear the word shin, in the context of an injury in football, isa yan sa mga pinaka-nakakatakot. Yung Achilles naman sa basketball yan, pinaka-nakakatakot.
Kasi bago yan ma-injure, ibig sabihin ang dami ng problema sa buong legs mo. Parang yun yung last na madadali.
Although it seems like Sumanggit is playing well today. We have a couple of subs in.
Anja Pertiero on the floor right now for IMUS.
Another tall player. Can he be effective? Because we did talk about Kim Malabunga, who's not giving his usual numbers. Hasn't even reached double figures today. Not even 5 points.
But itong si Pertiera, let's see if it works his advantage going up against his former team. The familiarity could, be something he could use. But this Marasigan hit.
Hero Austria and Marmeto looked at each other and thought it was in. When the referee called it was out, they both were convinced na, outside nga yun. Pero mukhang i-challenge na nga ngayon ng Signal HD. Is this the first challenge of Signal? Kasi parang karamihan,
in
IMUS,
this set,
So the score right now is 10-7 in set number 3, Coach Dex. And the Signal HD Spikers are contesting whether or not it was inside or out on the recent attack. But speaking of attacks, the one who is leading the way, sino pa ba? The one and the only, Mr. Mark Espejo with 19 points and 68% efficiency. So it was in, yeah. It was definitely in.
Point is going to be awarded to Signal.
That explains the reaction of both Marmeto and Austria kanina. Ball up. Austria close to the antenna. Hirap na yun para kay Francis Aura.
Tough set. And actually kanina nangyari din yan dito kay Rivera.
Alright, we have a timeout for Coach Sammy. Pakinggan natin.
Sabi ko sa'yo, padaliin mo lang yung trabaho mo ha? Guys, hindi pa tayo tapos ha? Hindi pa tayo tapos.
Service ang kalaban, parang baliwala kayo. Ano yan, tapos na ba? Lumaban naman kayo. Kahit yung score natin, itaas natin ng konti. Kasi pag dumikit yan, nag-iiba yan. Okay? Go! Hey, IMUS! IMUS!
5-point deficit right now that IMUS is facing. That is relatively a big lead already in this game. It has been tight in the first 2 sets. At ngayon, there's a minor goal para kay Coach Sammy Akailar. Dumikit muna kayo. And then, after that, you cross the next bridge, which is to try and win this set.
Well, at this point, they have to convince na kaya nilang sumabay ulit. Dahil kanina, ito nga yung period na talagang palitan ng puntos. But now, they let Signal balloon to 5 points. So, the first thing they need to do para makadikit is i-convince muna nila yung sarili nila na they're still in this game.
Right now, Signal very convinced that they can dominate. As we turn you over to Ayana Perlas.
Mix and Mela, I just want to add to the casualties of the Signal HD Spikers. Sumanggid with that tight shin that is connected to his Achilles, but also Alfred Valbuena actually sprained his ankle in the last game. Kaya today, marami daw yung tape na nilagay nila so that it won't aggravate. And also alongside Alfred, JP Pogawan has actually suffered from a recurring knee injury, and actually coming to this game, masakit daw yung knees niya, and they gave him ample time to rest. But this just shows how tough these back-to-back games are for the HD Spikers. Back to you, Mix and Mela.
Okay, that can explain a lot of things. Maybe less on Alfred Balbuena, who looked good when he got subbed in. Pero we did mention JP Bugawan hasn't been in his usual production.
His usual, So, actually, hindi lang yung production niya. Hindi talaga siya halos nasesetan. So, it might be a game plan for him to, have less exhaustion on kung ano man yung iniinda niya.
Because then again, if you want to talk about health, there's also a matter of preservation, especially if the finals are up ahead. Austria off of the blockers. IMUS badly needed that point.
Austria have been quiet for a while. Kanina siya talaga yung pumupukpok, pero after a while, medyo naging tahimik nga. But look at that backswing, just going all power against those two tall blockers.
Rivera on the serve. Sumanggid. First ball, they go to team captain. Marasigan kept alive. Austria again, down the line. Casanya looking up. It was outside.
You're not going to call a challenge on that one. But Hero Austria continuously trying to find ways to score, especially when there are no separations from the blockings of Signal.
15-9 is the score. Espejo with a strong serve, put back. Casanya to Isay, the top two scorers of Signal HD. Austria deflected. Espejo puts it up. Chased by EJ, had to cross to that point of the court, and it's all worth it as Wendell Miguel scores off the block. And that will send us to the second technical timeout of set number 3. All right, so let's talk about the preliminaries matchup of these two teams. Nakita nyo may Louie Ramirez pa nung game na yon. Ngayon, ibang-iba na. Pero it looks like the pacing of Signal HD is the same. They did win that in 3 sets.
Well, I guess now mas nakapaghanda nga itong IMUS dahil the set scores are closer, and like in terms of what happens within those sets, mas nakapag-aral itong IMUS, and they even have Francis Saura in their lineup ngayon. But same old Signal, still efficient in all ways here in this game.
Funny moment right there. Saura was backtracking, anticipating that strong serve by Espejo, pero dahil tumama sa net, sailed outside. So Anjo Pertiera will now be serving for the first time in this match. The 27-year-old from Cavite. Malapit lang sa IMUS ang kanyang tirahan. Wendell Miguel. Ball sent back. Sumanggid. Back to Wendell. That works.
You know how good the system of Signal is when even Sumanggid has that, strategy na quick and low set lang yung set niya sa open. Because usually the liberos would really, set it high para makapwesto yung spiker.
All the chemistry in the world for these Signal HD Spikers. Multiple-time champions in the Spikers turf. Good block right there. Uh-oh. Looks like we have a challenge.
You're gonna challenge the call while the rally is ongoing. Contesting that.
Hindi na tumama.
That hit did not cross the net.
17-10, Signal HD not allowing even some space for IMUS here.
Ganun ka-disiplina din, no? Na hindi dahil lamang ka, hayaan mo na lang. Because sometimes you don't know which point can start a spark
Right.
with the opposing team.
Well, that happened in their previous matchup against NU. They weren't supposed to drop a set. They were on pace to achieve history, but they couldn't do so. And so the locker room was different. Sabi ni Coach Dex, it felt like a loss for them that served as a wake-up call. Pero sabi niya rin naman sa atin, buti na lang nangyari na yun. Kasi kung mangyari pa yun in the semis or in the finals, mas delikado pa ang magiging sitwasyon nila. Is this the one they're trying to challenge?
I think that was the wrong
Yeah, it wasn't that
touch.
attack.
Kasi may part na parang not over yung bola. So that's the one they're trying to contest kung may block touch ba or not over yung bola. But they need to be, the amount of time that you get to call for a challenge and to identify which rally, it's just really quick. So the point is going to be retained with IMUS.
Okay, so we continue. It's 11 serving 17 now. Point regarded to IMUS City. Here's Francis Saura. Straight to Miguel. Casanya. Back to Wendell. Ang bilis ng bawi.
Combination play works for Wendell Miguel. He was the one who received that ball, but look at him coming out of transition.
This team looking like a well-oiled machine.
Sabi nga natin, home of men's volleyball stars itong Signal, and apart from the skills of these stars, it's really adapting to that Signal system.
18-11, there's Jival Asia who had to adapt to that Signal system since the start of last year. And nanggaling siyang VNS in the 2021 Champions League. Attack here off of the blockers will work for Hero Austria. So that guy is the top scorer for IMUS.
Austria securing a point right before he rotates for the serve. He's gonna have less sets in the back row for sure, so making sure that his last rotation in front counts.
It's 12 serving 18. Hero Austria, the leading scorer for IMUS City, doing the honors. Lone bright spot here with 12 points, 1 block and 1 ace. Oh, Chumason and Jiga. Now he contributes to the scoring rally.
Everyone from the side of Signal just showing how they're all capable to be lethal contributors of the team.
Everything changed, no? In this set, IMUS looking different. Francis Saura, Sumanggid. Good ball from the back. Wendell Miguel, patuloy ang puntos ng Signal HD.
Again, the body language of IMUS completely shattered here. And look at Francis Saura, not even attempting to get to the ball anymore. Parang isang sidestep na lang nandun na siya. But again, the body language really reflects a lot on their morale right now.
Chance here for IMUS. Malabunga with a push. He hasn't scored that much today. Alfred Balbuena Ayana mentioned he has an ankle injury, but he's looking good.
Single blocker against Valbuena, and he's gonna take advantage, making it seem like nothing hurts at all.
Right.
Great elevation from Valbuena, and Kim Malabunga as well, looking so down right now. Hindi na rin siya humabol dun sa block na yun para kay Alfred.
Misreceive. Saura ang magtatuwid. Chance for Signal. Asia. Low set to Chumason and Jiga. Double-digit lead.
Just scoring from all cylinders, talking about the Signal HD Spikers, utilizing everyone on the floor and giving them the confidence here in the semifinals as IMUS calls for a timeout. They're down by 10.
Marami pa naman tayong laro, di ba? Pero sana man lang, pag gumalaw tayo, gagalawin natin dapat yung trabaho natin. Eh, parang nakikita ko eh. Parang, basta laro lang kayo, wala tayong mahirap yung ganyan. Taas ng natin yung score natin.
Sige. Laro tayo, laruin natin. Say natin.
So now it's about the way they're going to finish this game, because that's a good reminder. It is the semis. You might lose this one. It looks to be that way, but they do have two title contenders coming right up in Cotabato and Iloilo on their schedule. So they're going to have to increase their level of play. At tandaan niyo po, wala pa pong Brian Bagunas para sa IMUS City. Darating siya March 29, which means that will be finals or battle for bronze time. Service error here.
They could still afford a few more of those errors, but they can't be complacent, no?
Received by Sumanggid. Combination. Alfred Valbuena's feeling it today.
And I guess that's his third point already. Yung block niya kanina and 2 attack points here in the third set. And proving to be a quality player for Signal.
Mukhang effective yung pag-tape sa ankle niya.
Parang enough lang yung amount of tape.
Oo.
Tamang ikot lang.
Hindi naman makapuputok yung sapatos niya eh. So, mukhang okay lang. Itong si Alfred. Back set. Valbuena again. Kept alive by Marmeto. Here's Rivera. Good approach.
So, great attempt by Wendell Miguel to sweep going down the line, but that attack is gonna work for IMUS. They try to stay alive here.
23-14. Signal, 2 points away from getting a victory. Some hang time there from JP Bugawan. Rivera sent back. Marmeto, back to Rivera. 2 blockers, no more recovery.
Rivera struggled in attacking. Of course, his height compared to his blockers, medyo mas nahirapan siya. But look at the adjustment as well of the libero para iurong yung set at magkaroon ng konting galaw itong mga blockers ng Signal. It worked well for them.
It's 15, serving 23 now. Back set. Valbuena. Good blocks. There's Espejo, the off-speed. Kept alive by IMUS. Rivera's approach. And the rejection comes in once more from Signal HD. It's 9 match points.
Bugawan and Valbuena cutting that 2-0 run that IMUS is starting to build. But now they're at match point. Hindi na ilalabas ni Coach Dex itong si Alfred, who's been doing good with the minutes given to him.
Francis Saura, and that's a block to end it all. It has been the story of this afternoon. The net defense of Signal HD proving to be on a very high level.
That was an exciting start of the game. First set, second set has been turned out well for IMUS, but here in the third set, it was completely dominated by Signal. And you mentioned about the blockings. Talagang very true to their brand as a #1 blocking team among many other departments that they top. Pero this is what they chose to play as their advantage over IMUS today.
So the Signal HD Spikers go back to their old form, winning in straight sets to start the semis against IMUS City. We'll be back to wrap this one up.
Mic test. Hello.
Test, mic test, 1, 2.
Welcome back to the Spikers Turf Open Conference 2023. That was day 1 of our semifinals, game 1, with the Signal HD Spikers winning in just 3 sets. Wow, surprise. So, of course, joining me now is Mark Espejo, our best player of the game. Hello, Mark. Congratulations. Now, Mark, sabi sa akin ni Head Coach Dex kanina na iba kayo sa eliminations na Signal HD Spikers. Ngayon, completely different team daw kayo kasi nag-iba yung mindset nyo. Could you talk to me about the change of mindset, Mark?
Siguro yung pagbago ng mindset na yon nung time na natalo kami ng 1 set against MU. So parang naging wake-up call siguro sa amin yon. And etong going to the semifinals, parang mas yung passion namin, yung eagerness namin, kailangan namin talaga ipakita pa. At I'm sure na marami pa kami pwedeng ipakita and I hope na magtuloy-tuloy hanggang finals.
Yes, definitely we saw the aggressiveness coming from the Signal HD Spikers. Pero syempre, hindi mawawala yung pagod coming from back-to-back games, continuous training. So, Mark, for you, what do you think is the best type of recovery, especially na gusto nyo maging fresh ulit sa finals and the next games to come?
Mahirap to Pero siguro after game, kailangan talaga kumain ng tama and recovery talaga. And most especially, bawal talaga magpuyat. Siguro yun yung best na kailangan gawin para makarecover agad. And I hope na lahat kami ginagawa yon. And ayun, masaya ako na nanalo kami today.
Yes, congratulations,
Yeah.
Mark.
Thank you.
Once again, this is Mark Espejo, our best player of the game. Back to you, Mix and Mela.
Thank you, Ayana. That's a good question on how to recover for Mark Espejo and the rest of Signal HD. Ayana did mention a couple of injuries happening for them, but those injuries won't stop them from getting this dominant victory. It was close at the start, but in set number 3, Signal just pulled away, led by that guy, Mark Espejo.
Sabi nga ni Mark, no, ang ganda ng naging adjustment nila ngayon from their last game at marami pa daw silang pwedeng ipakita in the following games and goes to show also how deep their bench is. Ang dami natin nakitang mga quality bunots from Signal and Coach Dex. Pero totally a team effort today. We know na si Mark, ang ganda ng pinakita, daming point produced. Pero nakikita mo how well the system is intact. Sumanggid also having a lot of digs and just keeping the the morale of the team very high as we take a look at the set 3 stats. Laki na naman na naging disparity in terms of attacks. Itong Signal doubling the output of IMUS on that department. And look at the blocks. They've been consistent on this department all throughout the game. And like I mentioned earlier, sticking to their branding na the best blocking team in the league. And also limiting their errors to just 6. So definitely an all-around game for Signal. And they were just looking fresh today.
For Signal HD, they do have 2 more games in the semifinals. Iloilo and Cotabato. Same goes for IMUS. And those 2 teams will be going up against each other in the second game inside the Rizal Memorial Stadium. So do invite your friends, your family. Join us as more Spikers Turf semis action will happen. Thank you so much for joining us in the first game in behalf of my partner Mela Tunay and our courtside reporter Ana Perlas. My name is Mix Gomez. Stay tuned for more of your Spikers Turf 2023 Open Conference Semifinals.
adopt. It becomes a set. Mark doesn't like it. Push back. Inside it goes. Ulitin natin to. Ayan. Sa likod. Hello. Walang tao sa bahay.
What about that from Obay? Great tackling.
He's probably the shortest middle blocker on the floor, but look at the hug of Obay.
Mangulaptan. Open on the other end. Deflected. Ramirez with the fake. Good setup. Good setup by Nico. This fifth set has been very good for Kevin Liberato, by the way.
Yeah.
That's a good one from Nico Ramirez. You do you, BJ. You do you, Mr. Rocky Roy Motol.
The middle's getting involved, so that's a good start by Magulabdan, trying to give them their confidence back.
PGJC Navy. Oh, good defense.
Good dig. Here comes Marcelino. No entry.
Take a look at this. Now, so far, talaga na-check na nitong NU ang top scorer ng Navy na si Marcelino.
Solid block. That's what Espejo and Giga.
Take us through this, Ivy. Watch this.
Ooh. Solid block. But that was Espejo.
Walang pupuntahan. May nagtago ng susi. Escudato's rejected, but that doesn't stop him. Watch this.
1-on-1.
Big clearance to London.
Great defense by Navy. They're trying again. The attacks are getting louder. But Christian Marcelino, you gotta take a look at that sequence one more time. Pato gives it to Marcelino, soaring high from the back row.
Mandal's shot being played around. Free ball. Rotter. Mandal!
Yeah, look at the reaction of his teammates. They were just like, woo! Perfect set.
Navy will try to score here, but Dolor was checked. Jairami backsets Villanueva. Motol with the effort. Wow! Longest rally so far. And Buddy scrambling. Oh, VNS keeping it alive. And finally, it ends.
Bodies all over the floor.
That is just excellent defense. Crazy persistence on the part of VNS. But Navy finally, pinahirapan sila but they were able to get that point.